you, I would like to give the floor to my dear friend Maimunah Sharif, an Assistant Secretary General and Executive Director of UN Habitat, an important partner in this endeavor. Maimunah, the floor is yours.
Yes. Participants, city leaders, colleagues, very good afternoon, good morning, good evening, and good night, all globally. And by a very good afternoon from Nairobi. I would like to thank the president of UCLG and Emilia for setting up our first joint virtual meeting and this community of city leaders. As you mentioned earlier, Emilia, we are today in the front line of this epic battle against COVID-19, and we do this for the families of those who died and for those who are already gravely ill in China, Iran, Middle East, Europe, Asia, United States, and in cities throughout the world. So in my capacity as an executive director, I would like to draw to all your attention to the most vulnerable communities and the urban poor in the developing Asia, Africa, and Latin America. And they really need us to be equipped and be fit for purpose. This morning, I appeared before the Kenya TV to discuss about this COVID-19 and the effect to cities and local government. And one of the areas of all the many questions being asked is how we tackle the people in the most vulnerable place, especially in the informal settlement and in the slum. I think where you don't even have water to drink, don't talk about washing their fingers and their hands in the proper way. So in the coming weeks and months, these vulnerable communities is projected to expand, face hardship, not since World War II. There is already a large of homeless population, and this challenge will grow as the economic impact of COVID-19 tips even more people over the age, and they can no longer pay rent or mortgages or utility bills for that matter. As we can see around the world, measures needed to slow down the rate of infection include social distancing and even curfew. What if advocacy and social distancing requires mobile communication? Can the internet cope? Can the poor people buy phone credit? Can people safely wash their hands if water operators become understaffed? Or when poor people can no longer buy overpriced gallons of water? What about public safety? A city in lockdown also needs to be a safe city. So world people insist on traveling out of cities or region for work and subsistence. Globalization has helped to spread COVID-19 around the world, but we must remember that local economies are also mobile. Food security, for example, requires mobility. What about the long-term health impact of people and communities? Will community resources be needed for health support at the expense of environmental initiative and similar endeavors to improve the quality of life for people? So at this point in time, we will have to review the organization of neighborhood, cities, and region on the basis of what happened now. First, however, cities have to repurpose buildings for medical and care purposes. Therefore, will tourism revenue disappear for years? Elderly care will be much more difficult then. I remember in 2017, when I was still a mayor, and I now wonder how I would have dealt with the COVID-19 if I had been in Penang, Malaysia today. That's why I'm together with the mayors who are on the ground and who have been able to ensure the health professionals and my colleague and your colleague in your city to be able to work effectively. I would like to join to hear how you deal with this, and so that we can share with other mayors and other organizations. I also would like to ask that humanitarian organizations would deliver assistance to the poorest in collaboration with both health officials and other city departments. I would like to swap extra budget for immediate cash support. For example, that UN Habitat, we have many programs, but we need support in terms of financial to reach the poorest, as they would lose their daily and weekly income instantly, working on minimum wages in service sector and a daily wage economy. And today, as an executive director of UN Habitat, I have to ask what to do tomorrow, next week, and next month. And the challenge are daunting. It is very, and I reach out to UCLG to start this dialogue today. We should not lose any opportunity to understand what is happening at the front line of cities and region. And I want to listen to the needs and the challenges. We should also help each other to seek solution to the challenges, and no one city can solve by itself. Local governments, cities and regions are closest to communities. They are resilient. It's our strength and source of inspiration. We need to build on this special relationship, and I believe that together we can discover the solution we need. Let us share what we have learned with cities and regions who are desperately preparing, responding, and recovering. How to test, how to trace, and how to treat. So I welcome the participation of the recovering cities. And again, today we will sit down and in this meeting signals that UN Habitat commitment to sit down with you, to seek your collaboration, your help, your wisdom, your commitment to global action. Thank you very much. Colleagues, over to you.